The St. Lucia Social Development Fund presents Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia, the Land, the People. Today's program highlights Gabriel Charles's growth and his contribution to St. Lucia. Given the kind of work that Gabriel Coco Charles would dedicate his life to, preserving the environment, it is ironic that when he was born in 1935, 300 coal workers in Castries went on strike, agitating for better working conditions. In fact, throughout the late 1930s, varying degrees of agitation and rioting were common. This was a time when various pieces of legislation were enacted. Trade unions were legalized. Special laws were passed governing the employment of women, young people, and children. A whole new tone was being set for the working class, who were recognized by some as being largely illiterate and, among other things, as having no interest in politics or voting. In 1937, out of a population of 60,000, only 1,509 people had the right to vote. Three words can best describe the next 20 years of the St. Lucia that Coco Charles knew: sugar, bananas, and fire. By the summer of 1956, he had left the island. The knowledge he needed was not available here. While he built no monuments and was not a businessman, his struggles to protect the environment and his efforts to teach about the effects of the lack of this protection have lived long after him. By 1961, when Mr. Charles returned to St. Lucia, he began the almost single-handed mammoth task of sensitizing politicians, farmers, and the general public on the importance of conservation measures. At the time, he thought the country was on the brink of catastrophe. This is how he summarized the situation. The water resources continue to dwindle while demands for water and land are increasing along with the population. The mismanagement of land under agriculture is still a major concern. Of his own burning desire to protect the land, he said, "I have a strong sense of patriotism, and I think that if I had not come back to St. Lucia when I did, the forest might have gone now." We needed someone who was committed and firm. It was really through the efforts of Mr. Charles that the word environmentalist was introduced to St. Lucia. He was largely responsible for replanting several areas that had been denuded of trees, introducing acres of mahogany and blue maho, fast-growing species that gave the natural forest time to renew itself. Early works by Coco Charles were responsible for saving the St. Lucia parrot, the Amazona versicolor, and bringing it back from the brink of extinction. He was the founder of the St. Lucia Naturalist Society. He served on the National Trust Council, and he was on the coordinating committee for the new system for parks and protected areas. Mr. Charles understood the kind of relentless lobbying that he needed to engage in with government as well as non-governmental organizations in order to raise the awareness about the problems that could occur if people failed to adopt basic sustainable behaviors. He had an unwavering determination and believed himself to be the guardian of our forest reserves. He left no stone unturned locally as well as internationally in his lifelong quest to preserve and protect. Before his passing, Mr. Charles received the prestigious Fred M. Packard International Parks Merit Award by the Commission on National Parks and Protected Areas. This award is one of two given once every 3 years in recognition of outstanding service in furthering the conservation of protected areas to society. Join us next time for another in the series of Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia, a program designed to highlight various aspects of the lives of people who assisted in the development of our island, St. Lucia.